I've been saying for the longest now. I'm not a Mason. I'm not in the Brotherhood. I'm not in some gang. I'm not in some biker gang. I never joined a gang. I never joined a biker club. I never joined a brotherhood amongst guys that were Masons. I never joined a fraternity before. The reason why I got screenshots in my Google Photos back in 2022 that I put up on YouTube of me taking pictures of the clock of the car that I was in at that time is because my clock was off, and I was showing people that if anybody hacked into these photos, these Google photos, and then uploaded these pictures anywhere else and then tried to make it look like that it was a different time in the areas that I was at and try to make up some lie about me, I was showing exactly when I took the picture, exactly when I took the recordings and stuff like that. Because I had my the clock on that Toyota RAV4 in December 2022, that clock was way off. So on November 28, 2022, when I took a picture of a certain time, that was just the birthday of this singer named SZA. God told me a few things about her. I reached out to this lady, never got a response. The whole time I was living in California, if that lady ever reached out to me in any kind of way, I never got a response. I mean, I never got the memo, meaning if that lady ever reached out to me or anything, I was in deep belief that she never in her life she ever had, because of anybody who would do something like that would prefer to see you in person. You know what I'm saying? But when the whole time I was living in Los Angeles, California, my phone was getting hacked all day, every day. And it was like clockwork. Every single time I tried to comment on her page on Twitter or something like that, I'll hear niggas smirking, snickering and shit. And I'll see men smirking and giggling like in my face around the testimonial shelter where I was at. So that told me right there that there's some weird shit going on, because why do they be giggling and snickering around me and smirking and smiling at me only after I basically put say something or comment on something on Twitter? So that means everybody has a notification on their phone, something synchronized and connected with their phone that basically gives them a notification whenever they see me messaging someone on Snapchat or Instagram, on Twitter in 2024. This was July, August, and early September 2024 when this actually happened, when I was at that testimonial shelter in Los Angeles, California, yo. So one time I was in the Los Angeles library. This is in November 2024. And I put up a picture. I created a brand new Facebook. I had one of them government phones. And I created a brand new Facebook. And I went to the Los Angeles library to actually upload this picture that was on that on the new Facebook that I had, right? And it was a picture that me and my siblings took when my brother did this acting stage play back in this was in 2017, I think, February 2017. My brother did some type of acting play or something like that. And matter of fact, no, I think this was October 2017, because my sister was there also. I'm trying to remember the exact year. I remember I had cornrows around this time. So it's a picture of me and my siblings. I put it up online. Then I took it down because I saw this Hispanic dude on the side of me, and I could tell that this nigga was in the gang. And when I put that picture up, he started shaking his head like this, like he was looking at the picture of me and my peoples, like he recognized them or something. So I took that shit down just out of safety reasons. And I also let it be known that something is not right about my siblings a long time ago. I truly believe all of them been cloned in some type of a fucked up way. The whole point that I'm making is I am not a part of some brotherhood. So if somebody believed that it's some type of underhand or a secretive stuff going on, it's better off talking to me in person, because a lot of people, it wasn't just a big family of people trying to mock and manipulate me and lie on me in California, or even before I went to California. It was a whole gang of people, or people that was in the same brotherhood. It's people that were a part of Masons. It's a lot of people that are Masons. They got goals to just help their family out, show love to their family, but you got some people that choose to move in a fucked up ass, crooked ass way. This is exactly why a lot of people try to frame me and lie on me in the past. This was in September, October 2024, right on this day. A car accident had happened outside of the tiny home shelter. They locked the gate down and said could nobody walk up outside of the gate, and it was right a little bit further down, going toward up the hill way. It was like a car accident, but nobody saw what had happened or anything like that. I spoke of this dude that drove in this dude everybody around Cali called New York. Drove down 3rd Street one day hey, what's up, man? You staying over here now? This dude that stayed at the LA Mission shelter. And when I saw him, the dude was in a white Tesla. I just squinted my eyes like, oh, and then I was like, oh, what's up, bro? I just put on my fist like, hey, what's up, bro? And it was this light-skinned girl on the side of him, but I thought that was this lady that worked across the street from the LA Mission that basically had a boyfriend that also stayed that worked there. And the dude looked like he was like mixed with um Chaldean or Hispanic or something like that. And the lady that worked there was this lady who had a prosthetic leg. And I thought that that was her. But as time went on more and more and more, I started having dreams and visions of my sister asking me for help. So I was saying to myself, there's no fucking way in the world that had, I was saying this right around like June 2025, like right around the time when I got off that flight and came back to my auntie Mary Smith or my auntie Yang Yi apartments at the Regal Tower Apartments in Southfield, Michigan. I was saying there's no way that my sister messed around and got reeled out or something that was her in that car, because ain't no way that everybody would have saw my intelligence like that. And there's no way everybody would move that evil, because if that's the case, then I'm, for one, I ain't letting shit go. And for two, there's no way everybody would like work as a group to do me that dirty for no reason that don't even know me, because that would mean a whole team of people will have to be in cahoots with each other, and they would literally have to be in the pack and just take an oath amongst each other to say, yeah, this is evil right here, and we doing this for no reason. So it ain't like I'm saying, oh, ain't no way somebody try me like that because they know I'm getting them back. No, I'm a human being like everybody else. Anybody can do something to me, but I feel like there's no way that many people will move evil for no reason. So I'm not no fool. My family been cloned. My mom and my siblings been cloned. They've been cloned. I'm not in some brotherhood. I never joined the brotherhood. I said that shit to this one dude named Brian that was in the tiny home shelter unit number 31 when he started asking me one day, like, did you go against the oath or something like that? I'm like, bro, I'm not a Mason. Because I got on the subject talking about that stuff one day. As a matter of fact, that dude was the one talking about how he know a lot of Freemasons and stuff like that. But I made it clear, I'm not in the gang. I never joined the gang. Because he started asking me a bunch of gang type questions and shit like, did you go against the oath? Did you go against the squad or something like that? Or this and that? I'm like, bro, I'm not a part of anything. I never joined the gang. I never joined the brotherhood. And everybody at that tiny home shelter knew that. So this is what I believe happened. People was lying to other people when telling people he a Mason, but he gonna say he not. He in the gang, but he gonna say he not. He in a brotherhood or a fraternity or some type of biker gang, but he gonna say he not. And they played everybody else for a fool. And if I am somebody that's lying, and I'm looking at somebody else that's believing a lie, if I believe that person is never gonna go talk to me, like let's say I'm somebody that's lying on let's just, I'm gonna speak of myself in third party. AJ over there, right? AJ over there, mind his business. He ain't a part of anything. I'm gonna tell everybody around here that nigga AJ in the gang. But ain't nobody gonna come and talk to AJ directly. Ain't nobody gonna ask him if it's true or not. I'm gonna tell people that AJ a Mason. I'm gonna tell people that AJ in a brotherhood and a fraternity. But nobody's gonna ask that man directly because they believe in the shit that I'm telling them. So this is what I believe people has done to me. People who acted like they knew me, complete strangers, reached out, said some foul shit about me, and nobody had enough decency or common sense to come and talk to me directly and ask me, AJ, is that true or not? I said that God had revealed to me that I was meant to be with the singer. Says I never talked to this lady. Everybody gonna say that nigga retarded, he tripping, he overthinking, whatever. When I moved to Cali, I sent that lady a couple DMs and stuff, never got a response, and I left it alone because I said this lady's celebrity. I don't want to be saying too much shit that can make things worse around her, around her surroundings, anything like that. Left that shit alone, right? It's that simple. Until like I'm still focused on what I'm focused on more than anything else as of lately. The only thing that's been my focus is why the fuck my whole family look clone. So I don't give a fuck about he say, she say, talk or gossip or anything like that. I'm trying to figure out what's up with this new shit that's going on. Why is this happening? So when I was in LA though, it was times I sent out DMs. It was times I sent out messages. I never got a response. I just overlooked it. I talked to every nigga around my old neighborhood. They all said the same thing. Like, man, you know that's a celebrity, man. You ain't gonna never be able to get through this and that, this and that. They all told me the same exact thing, yo. And I reached out to Jock and told Jock that DJ nigga from both of these niggas grew up in my old neighborhood. Them the main niggas and Denzel. Them the three main niggas I reached out to. Denzel hit me up on FaceTime, but he never pulled up on me the whole time I was in Michigan. Jock hit me up on FaceTime too. DJ had pulled up on me, and they all told me the same thing. Like, man, you know, ain't nobody. That's a celebrity, man. You ain't about to just be able to talk back and forth with them, whatever. I'm like, yeah, dog, but My whole family don't look the same. They look like they've been cloned. I do not know what the fuck Masons do, dog. My dad told me he not a Mason. I truly believe he is one. It's a book in the house on the Quaker Road that got a whole, it's a whole book about Masons and stuff like that. I never read it. One day I recorded a video and I just flipped through the pages. And I saw the word fraternity and I was like, see, it's like a fraternity. I looked up a couple things on Google one time and YouTube trying to see what handshakes meant, and I said what certain handshakes meant. But I never got too deep off into it because I didn't want to get to the point where I'll be walking around thinking that everybody is off into some bullshit and be thinking with a conspiracy theoretical state of mind every damn thing that I do everywhere I fucking go. It was too much confusion. So I said, I'm not even going to try to engage in trying to figure out what all of this stuff means because it's too much. So people took old videos and tried to contradict me and play me for a fool. And the only way that they can contradict me falsely and play me for a fool in front of somebody else is if that somebody that they was talking to was off into the secretive society type of shit. So that's like me saying, I'm hungry, I'm about to go get something to eat. And then somebody else saying, man, that nigga ain't hungry, that nigga ain't about to go get nothing to eat. And then everybody will be thinking that that dude just contradicted me. And they'll be thinking that nigga ain't about to go grab something to eat. Because everybody believing what this nigga say instead of talking to me directly. That one dude whose shoes got stolen at the testimonial shelter. The day that they kicked that dude out, I was trying to holler at him. I was like, hey, bro. I'm like, hey, man, why they put you out? Why they put you out? Whatever, this and that. He told me that somebody stole some cigarettes or something. He was outside of his truck like mad and shit like that. I'm like, hey, bro, why they put you out? The other dude locked the gate, closed the gate, and was telling him, hey, man, can't nobody leave out? Can't nobody leave up out of here? Can't nobody walk up out of here? He was saying that. He kept saying the same thing. This dude named Scott was like, no, man, can't nobody leave up out of here right now. Can't nobody leave up out of here. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, hey, man, this is not a police station, bro. I'm just trying to see what's up with this nigga. I saw that dude around the bus stop probably like a few weeks after that or something like that. He told me that it was some people at that testimonial shelter. They put him out and they stole his cigarettes and some shit like that. And when they was telling me, hey, man, don't go around that dude, stay away from that dude, I had already seen that nigga around because before the dude had closed the gate and locked the gate on him, I saw the dude whose shoes got stolen, a dude named Morgan. I saw him run upstairs and then he came back downstairs. And then when I saw him at the bus stop a few weeks after that, I was like, hey, bro, what made you run? I was like, why they put you out? Because I saw you run upstairs. He told me that he had jumped over the gate and ran upstairs to try to see who took his cigarettes. Because I told him, I was like, hey, bro, I saw you. Like, he saw me. He saw me sitting around in the dining area at the table. I saw that nigga walk up the stairs. Then I saw him come back downstairs. And then I'll say probably like 10, 15 minutes after that, he was outside in his car arguing with the dudes outside of the testimonial shelter in the parking lot. So when I ran into him a few weeks later at the bus stop, I'm like, hey, bro. I'm like, why they put you out? I was like, for going upstairs? Like, did you go upstairs when they told you not to? He told me that they had been put him out. But he ran upstairs because he had a box of cigarettes and somebody had stole his whole pack of cigarettes or some shit like that. And this after that dude's shoes got stolen. I asked that dude directly, is this something negative being stated about me or being said about me? Around the time when his shoes got stolen. I reached out to this dude that was at the Kingdom Hall. Asked him the same exact things. This dude who said his name was Bird, I didn't know that nigga real name. You know what I'm saying? Bald head, light-skinned dude. I asked him if it was something negative being stated about me around that same exact time that dude's shoes got stolen. Because I told him at the testimonial show there was something negative going on. He told me he'll ask around and he'll let me know. About a week later, he told me, no, ain't nobody saying anything about you. That dude was standing on the corner of Slauson and Western with his auntie, this older lady, and this dark-skinned short lady that was his cousin. The lady that was his cousin looked like she was around my age. His auntie or his grandma, whoever that lady was to him, she was an older lady, this light-skinned lady. She was older. They said, hey, man, come to the Kingdom Hall sometime. They were just out there handing out flyers on Slauson and Western. The dude said his name was Bird. You feel me? So when that dude, Morgan's shoes, had got stolen around the first time, I asked this dude one particular night, hey, bro, you all right? Like, you straight? He was talking to himself laying in the bed. He got up and walked away from me and started, like, jerking back and forth. So he was laying in his bed. He got up out of his bed, then walked in front of this dude, the same dude that used to be recording people at nighttime, the gay dude named Robert, who used to always be recording people with his camera at nighttime. I used to tell all of the security guards, this man be recording men at nighttime. Y'all need to check that dude because that dude is homosexual and somebody going to end up hurting him if they see him constantly recording people at nighttime. That nigga used to be recording people while they sleep with his cell phone at nighttime. Men. He used to be recording heterosexual men. So I said, look, y'all, that man is gay, and that man gonna end up in something real fucked up if he keep recording people at nighttime. I caught that dude recording me a couple times. I'm not gay. I don't appreciate being recorded by some gay man who playing games, taking advantage of the fact that he got a whole bunch of family members that's allowing this to happen. When I started speaking up more on that, they kicked me out of that testimonial shelter. But on this particular night, I was on the phone. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with my mom's. I was talking to her about my cousin Kenny, asking, hey, you know Kenny number? Didn't Kenny say he had a couple cousins that stay in LA? My cousin Kenny got a cousin named Mike, or a nephew named Mike that stay in Nevada. And then he the one that stay in Nevada got a son named Lil Mike. He told me he be around Santa Monica area, around LA somewhere or something like that. So when I hit up my mom's and asked what Kenny number was, I called Kenny. He gave me Mike number that stayed in Nevada and also his son number. I never, ever seen Big Mike or Lil Mike in person. The one that stayed in Nevada or the one that be around Cali or Santa Monica or something. I never seen him in person. I hit him up, said, pull up on me something, this and that, this and that. He never pulled up on me. And the main reason why I reached out to them, because I always feel like when I was at that shelter, it was some bullshit going around. It was people slowly but surely trying to set me up or do something scandalous. I reached out to him. Only thing Lil Mike said to me was, yeah, man, I'll pull up on you one of these days. I'll come through. He sent me a text one day. He called my phone and he was like, hey, man, send me the number that I just texted you. He texted me the number 33 and just said, hey, man, text me back that number. I'm like, why? He was like, just text it back to me, man. I'm doing something with my phone right now. I never seen that nigga. I never seen that man in person. That's supposed to be my cousin on my cousin Kenny's side. Kenny was an older cousin of mine that's like 60 or 70 years old right now. He moved back to Michigan a few years ago. So I'm on the phone with my mom's asking my mom's, what's Kenny number? This is after I asked the dude Morgan if he all right, because he was just laying in the bed talking to himself, hitting himself and shit. He got up and walked away from me and started hyperventilating, jerking back and forth. And the gay dude, Robert, that was also in the bunk bed across from him, he was just recording it with his cell phone. I'm on the other side. And then I hear like something go ding. I look around, and I'm thinking, did somebody just throw something at me? I looked over at the dude, Morgan. I looked over at the gay dude. Morgan was standing in front of the gay dude. The gay dude was laying in his bed. Morgan was like standing in the doorway, like being recorded by the gay dude. And I looked over at him. He didn't say nothing to me. I said nothing to him. The next day I asked that dude, I was like, hey, bro, you sure you all right? He's like, yeah, man, I'm going through some stuff with my family. The dude Morgan said that. I let the security guards know that gay dude Robert was recording this one dude Morgan the other night while he was having some type of an episode or something like that. He was going through some type of stress. I reached out to the dude that be at the Kingdom Hall over there on Western and 44th Street. I told him, hey, bro, was something weird going on around the testimonial shelter. He told me he'll let me know. And I'm going to be honest, I kept my distance away from Bird at times because he came off as kind of feminine sometimes. One time we in the Kingdom Hall. I go in the Kingdom Hall. They used to always tell me to go find, like, you can either find a seat you want to sit at or they just point you to which seat to sit at. I go sit down at a seat. The dude Bird sitting in front of me. He sat down and he was like, I'll be right back. And then he got up and I was like, bro, why are you telling me you'll be right back? And why did you say it publicly like I need some type of a chaperone? What's going on? Is that I ain't never in my life seen another grown man tell another grown man I'll be back. It was just the way he did it. He was like, I'll be right back. Everything that I'm saying right now on January 20th, 2026 at 8:32 p.m. I said this shit 100 other times. 8:31 p.m. I said this. I told the same story on my Facebook, on my Instagram account. I talked about all of this already. Everything that I'm talking about. I'm not in some secret society. I never took an oath to be a Mason. I never got jumped in a gang before. I used to claim my neighborhood back when I was in my teenage days, schoolcraft, and I also used to represent where my family tree came from around Southwest Detroit. So many lies been told on me, dog. When I was 6 years old to 7 years old, I was living on 30th Street. I went to an elementary school called Newberry. That was when I was in the first grade. When I was in the second grade and the third grade, I went to a school called Holcomb Elementary, yo. I was living on Bentley Street in Grand River, and then by the time we went to that was when I was in the second grade, and then by the time third grade year started, we moved on Schoolcraft in Granville in the summertime of 1998. When I was in 4th and 5th grade, I went to this elementary school called St. Christine in Gemma. Me and my sisters did. When I was in the 6th grade, I went to the school called UPS. That was right behind Cass Tech. It used to be a building behind Cass Tech called Universal Public Schools. I went there 6th grade. I flunked the 6th grade and then went to that school the second year of 6th grade. Universal Public Schools, that's right behind Cass Tech. They used to basically tell kids that they was getting them ready to go to that high school, Cass Tech, at that school, UPS. And then when I was in 7th grade, I went to Bernie Middle School in Southfield, Michigan. My sister was in 8th grade because I had flunked the grade. When I got in 8th grade and my sister was in 9th grade, I went back to Bernie Middle School. I left after the first couple months and I went to a school called Arthur Ashe Academy, and they changed the name of it to Southfield Regional Academic Campus by like November of 2004. So it's called SRAC. By January 2005, I left Southfield Regional Academic Campus, or Arthur Ashe Academy, and went back to Bernie Middle School because I was trying to get promoted into the right grade, which would have been a 9th grade at the time, and I chose to go back to Bernie Middle School. I graduated from Bernie Middle School, and then the next year I went to Southfield Latham High in the 9th grade. My sister was in the 10th grade. Then the next year after that, I went to Southfield Regional Academic Campus, or SRAC. My sister Alicia went back to Southfield Latham High. She'd been there, and I went there all of my 10th grade year at SRAC. And then I took summer school classes. Then I took night school classes that following school year in 07. And I went to Southfield Regional Academic Campus, but I graduated from Southfield Latham High, yo. With my twin sister. That's the whole rundown of where I lived at. In the schools that I went to. Yo. My mom used to stay with my auntie Adele on 24th Street way, way, way back in like 1993 or 1994 or something like that. My mom had moved out of her house and moved in another house or something like that because my auntie had whooped me or something back in the day. Something had messed up with, and my mom moved out of 24th Street that she was living with my auntie Adele. Me and my brother Scooter, my sister Keisha and Alicia moved out my auntie Adele house. My mom moved on the street called Brace Retirement, yo. First grade. Kindergarten before first grade. I went to the school called Dixon. It wasn't too far from Brace Retirement where my mom stayed at. Before I even went to kindergarten, we used to go to this daycare center called World of Wonders. My cousin Sean Woods and Evie Woods and their daddy Larry used to come and basically help us put on our clothes and go to daycare. Help me, my sister Keisha and Alicia go to daycare. This is in like 1994, 1995 or something like that. I went to Dixon, this kindergarten called Dixon, back in like 1995. By 1996, we moved on 30th Street in Southwest Detroit. We was living on 24th Street. We moved up out of there, and then we moved in another house, and then we moved over there on Brace Retirement Street where I went to that kindergarten called Dixon in 1995. Then by 1996, when I was going to the first grade, we moved back in Southwest Detroit on 30th Street. My mom had her own house. She wasn't living on 24th Street with my auntie Adele. We moved on 30th Street. Me and my sister Keisha and my sister Alicia went to this elementary school called Newberry. I still remember my first grade teacher name was Miss Black. Me and my sister Alicia wasn't in the same class. And then we moved on Grand River and Bentler by the time I got to the second grade. I was in the portables and I had a teacher named Miss Knox in second grade. Me and my sister wasn't in the same class. She was in the buildings. This when I was in the second grade and I went to the school called Holcomb Elementary. And then this is by the summer of 1998, the end of my second grade year at Holcomb Elementary. We moved off of Grand River and Bentler. We moved on Schoolcraft in Granville. in the summertime of 1998. And then I went back to Holcomb Elementary my 3rd grade year. And then by the end of the 3rd grade year, we left Holcomb Elementary. Me and my sister Keisha, my sister Alicia, my brother Scooter was going to Redford High School. And after that year was over with, by the summertime of 1999, my mom put me, my sister Keisha, and my sister Alicia in this Catholic school called St. Christine and Gemma off of 96. Off of 96 freeway in like Lasher or something, or Burt or something like that. And we went there for the 4th grade. Me and my sister Alicia went there for the 4th and the 5th grade. My sister Keisha went there for the 7th and the 8th grade. Or the 6th and the 7th grade, I mean. When I was in 4th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Louise. When I was in the 5th grade, when I was in the 4th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Louise. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Siskey. And then after those 2 years of being there, we went to a school called UPS, a middle school called UPS that was right behind Cass Tech. It's no longer a school over there. It was right behind Cass Tech and right across the street from Cass Park. I flunked the 6th grade the first year. Then I came back to that same school the 2nd year. In the 6th grade again. My sister was in the 7th grade. They started building the brand new Cass Tech around that same time. This is around like November of 2002 or something like that. You got to be a dumb fuck at this point in time to not come and talk to me directly and believe a whole bunch of bullshit that somebody else is kicking you. I know my family been cloned, and I know it's a lot of people moving in the shiesty-ass scandalous way. Talk to me in person. It's that simple. Don't trust what's on social media. When I was at that testimonial shelter, I jumped on Snapchat one day. This is in July 2024 or August 2024. And I looked at the map on Snapchat. I looked at my avatar. I looked at all the activity that was around there. You click on one of the little bubbles, the little scenes and stuff that be on that map. It's people at restaurants. It's people around the area that just uploaded a video. You see all of that on the map on Snapchat. My phone glitched, and all I saw was my avatar standing by itself. It was no more videos visible. It was no more videos to even click on. That means somebody hacked into my phone right then and there around that shelter. So when I used to go downstairs and I used to see people just on their laptops chilling, that wasn't just somebody on their laptop chilling. That was somebody that was a part of some brotherhood, and they was protected to hacking my phone and get away with it. It's a whole team of people doing this shit. Yo, the police covering it up. I'm not in the brotherhood. Don't you think if I was in the fucking brotherhood, do you think I'll go through all this bullshit if I was in a brotherhood? If I was in a gang, do you think I would have ever went through this to begin with? If I was a part of some fraternity, do you think I would have ever went through this? If I was a part of some biker gang, do you think I would have ever went through this? Never. Because I've seen some niggas and I've heard of some niggas do the most worst fucked up shit to people and still walk around with a smile on their face. And people overlook them, and these people, and then I become public enemy number one, and I ain't doing nothing but minding my business and basically trying to remain out of the motherfucking judicial system, because I realize it's a lot of people. Once people got it made up in their mind and they moving in a secretive, scandalous way towards you, it's all bad. Now, if somebody feel like they could come along and then take a family member away from you and then clone them, they feel like they can do whatever they want to do. How do you follow the law when somebody is doing that? How do you even base what's right or wrong on your actions when somebody is doing something like that? So when they come to the celebrities, all the celebrities that I send DMs to and all of that, I was sending out a lot of YouTube links to a lot of people in the past. And I was just letting it be known, this is what I'm going through, just in case somebody try to frame me in the future. I said, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm going through. When I'm sitting at the crib chilling and the police come by and they say that I threatened to kill some gay man at the Walmart distribution center, and I left earlier that day and I put in protected paid time off, that's a problem. When somebody can make up a lie like that and then use the judge at St. George as a weapon against me to sign some paper, then get me taken out of the house in handcuffs, and then take my blood against my will and tell me you're going to jail if you don't give us your blood, if you don't let us put this needle in your arm and take your blood. I've been through ups and downs with family members of mine. I've been through the worst times, good times. I would never allow somebody to try to bring harm to my mom or my sisters or my brother. Never allow somebody to do that. I'd never sit back and allow something like that, yo. No matter what I've been through with them. But I truly believe when I moved to Cali, a lot of people played me for a fool. They tricked me. What they did was they hacked my phone all day. They talked to family members of mine and lied to them. And then they hacked my phone again, and then they talked to other people around LA and then lied to them and convinced people that I was flirting with a lot of people, talking to a lot of people that I wasn't talking to. And then it made other people act disrespectful toward me. So when I started catching the feedback of all of the phone hackers that was basically jumping in my phone, acting like me, it made me observe way more people around me, and it made me more upset because I thought that it was a lot of people that I was related to hacking in my phone, lying on me. So then other people started reaching out like, "Hey, AJ, what's up? Like, what's going on with you?" And I'm like, "No, man, y'all on some bullshit." So I thought my family members was bad talking me, but what I believe happened, I think my I think my family was trying to get me to understand what was going on. So they relied on somebody to hack my phone, keep me away from my family. A lot of other people tell people that I'm a part of stuff, and then at the same exact time make it look like that I'm some whole ass nigga trying to set family members of mine up. And then they thought that if they could clone my family, that I wouldn't know that they've been cloned. So when I started speaking about them being cloned, other people started saying, no, somebody telling him that. No, that nigga moving in the shiesty ass way. So you got a lot of people that's in these secret organizations, and they got so much of a fucked up, guilty ass conscience, they think that I'm in that same stuff. So they attacking me because they upset with me, and they thinking that I possibly did something that they capable of doing or something that they done in the past, and I ain't done nothing, dog. I moved to Cali and my mind was on money, working on my business, getting my stuff together. No matter how much I cuss my family out, I said in due time, I'm going to tell them it's all love, God bless, and forgiveness and all of that. I moved to Cali, and a lot of people took it upon themselves to play a game, a psychological, manipulative game. So if there's a celebrity who believed that they was talking back and forth with me ever, you wasn't talking to AJ. You was talking to somebody that was hacking in my phone and acting like me. Let me say this again. If you think you was talking back and forth with me, meaning somebody who actually said, "What's up?" and then you was talking back to them, if you ever said, "Hey, what's up? Hey, pull up," or "What's up? Hey, let's link up," or whatever, let's meet up or some shit like that, and you got a response from me, that means somebody hacked my phone and acted like me. That wasn't actually me, AJ Alvin McCray Berman Jr. responding to you. That was some fuck nigga or some scandalous bitch hacking my phone, lying on my image, convincing you a lie. In November 2024, I was on the phone with my sister talking to her, and she kept like clearing her throat, like she wanted to tell me what was going on, but it was like no way of she couldn't tell me. So my sister was actually on the phone with me and she was scared to speak up. That means somebody was holding her captive and saying, "We'll take your life or we'll do something messed up to you if you speak up." And the only way that could be maintained is if I feel like 99% of everybody around that area is in on it. It's not just Cali, it's everybody in South Carolina, Florida, and also Michigan. Everybody is in on it in the same clique. That's the only way something like that could be maintained. Because if it's just a whole bunch of people in one certain city or one state moving in a fucked up way, people just go look from the outside in and go say, "Hell no, I ain't about to let y'all do that to that nigga." But if it's a whole lot of people that's in the same clique in different states, they go find a way to maintain that same secret amongst somebody else. So I be begging God, keep my mama, keep my sisters, my family safe, healthy, and alive, protected from evil and danger, delivered from evil and danger. Because there's a lot of people that be on the dark web. I don't be on the dark web. Maybe it's somebody on the dark web talking to people and then acting like me. Maybe that's what's happening. I was in deep belief when I was in Cali that somebody actually cloned me and had some nigga walking around acting like me, doing a whole bunch of foul shit, convincing a whole bunch of people a lie. Now, if somebody's willing to go that far, it don't get no more fucked up and dirty and evil than that. Because if you do something that foul and fucked up, that means you playing dirty. You ain't playing. I personally feel like it was never rules in any of this kind of bullshit to begin with. When it comes to you being on a walk with God, trying to follow what God is telling you to do, and you got other people trying to frame you and sabotage you, allowing you and defame you. What's fair? You know, what's some type of a rule playing game when you got somebody actually lying on you? How can you tell somebody play the game and play the rules? What kind of rule says this man over here minding his business, you on the walk with God? Hey, tell that lady over there to make up a lie about him. Tell that lady to say that he grabbed her ass. Tell that lady to say he stole from her. Tell that nigga over there to say that he cussed his cousin out. He called his female cousin a bitch, or he called his girlfriend a bitch. What makes a man just out the blue make up a lie? What makes a nigga say, hey, drive down the street, drive down Grand River Street over there and beep your horn at that guy, and then jump on Snapchat and say, hey, man, I had my kids in the car. That man almost hit me. Make up a lie about that man so he can look like some so other people could say, okay, if that nigga almost swerved to hit you, that's one thing. But since you got your kids in the car, that make it worse. No, fuck that nigga. And then everybody starts some alliance like, yeah, fuck that nigga. Hey, hacking his phone. Every single time he go through some type of stress or bullshit, he record a whole bunch of videos in his phone that's in his Google account, hacking his Google photos, take those videos and put them up on Snapchat and make it look like that he's sharing that video to somebody, or just make it look like that he's uploading it himself. That way, when he come forward on YouTube and then he say that he never in his life talked back and forth with some celebrity or something, we could trick the whole world with this nigga videos. Ain't no such thing as fearing any of this shit when people was attacking you from a secretive point of view, from a secretive position. Ain't no such thing as rules. Back to what I was talking about earlier. It was a couple times I heard car accidents over there on 3rd Street when I was at that tiny home shelter. If some scandalous has happened to my family, yo, in any kind of way, dog, and some over there around that way, everybody is in on it, dog. A lot of people know about it. They just left me out on purpose. And speaking to that dude who was driving that white Tesla who pulled up on me that day, and I thought it was this light-skinned lady, because from afar, I couldn't really see. Deep down, I've been thinking as of lately, is it a possibility that was my sister? And if that was my sister, everybody is in on it. Everybody is in on it. Everybody is in on it, and they left me out on purpose. And they said, fuck you and your family. When I was at that testimonial shelter, yo, it was one time I got on Twitter and I saw SZA put up a post and she said, okay, I tried to reach out, and I didn't know what she was talking about. But I used to comment on posts on Twitter. I used to send DMs on purpose. I never got a response, so I left it alone because I said, man, this lady's celebrity. She probably already know. She probably already know not to even respond to a whole bunch of stuff. But every time I used to comment on something on Twitter, niggas around the testimony show to be laughing and grinning and shit, laughing amongst each other. And there's some nigga out here that's still in my story trying to act like I'm copying off of him. And some nigga walking around saying that he's a prophet and he's trying to make it look like I'm copying off of him. Anybody that's doing that mean they stalking me all day, every day, yo. Because they trying to convince everybody else some bullshit. I got hundreds of videos on my YouTube saying the same thing. Listen, I have sent out a lot of YouTube links in the past because I went through a lot of fucked up ass paranoia and bullshit, and I was putting up videos just in case somebody tried to get me framed. Because when I realized that some lady under the age of 18 sent me a picture of her breast in December 2022, you know what I'm saying? And that was after they got me arrested and taken out of the house for no reason. I started uploading everything. I started going public with everything. Before 2022, I wasn't reaching out making certain reports to the cyber hacking agency. I wasn't doing that. So when I realized that what was going on, I said, okay, I'm going to do this way now. And I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep letting it, every time my phone get hacked, I'm going to let somebody know my phone getting hacked. So you got some people that's a part of certain organizations. They would think that I'm a part of something because they'll just try to think ahead of time, and they'll try to think like they probably know me well. So they'll probably think that I know what's really going on. I don't know what's all going on. All I know is my family member's been cloned. I know that much. I know that something not right with that. And the only people that know for a fact that I'm not a part of anything is the main people that's lying on me and trying to maintain this manipulation over my image, yo. I've had people looking at me like, yeah, nigga, people looking at me with a grin on their face like, no, nigga, I don't know shit. Won't you tell me? Tell me what's really going on. So I said there's absolutely no way that a celebrity has ever tried to get in touch with me and talk to me, because if they did, The only way a lie could be maintained is if it's somebody around them that's also in on it and trying to maintain the lie over my name. That's the only way, yo. There's no such thing as one thing being one-sided. Never. It's never been a such thing as just something being one-sided. So if it's a whole side of people, right, that's trying to lie on me and manipulate me, they can never convince a whole bunch of other people that don't know what's going on. Because somebody is going to look up and say, no, y'all lying on that nigga. So the only way, and my family been reeled out to Cali, and there's people trying to make it look like that I reeled them out in some type of way. If my family been reeled out to Cali at all, I got played for a fool right in my face. If it's some lady saying that I grabbed her ass or called her a bitch and cussed her out or stole from her in Cali, that lady is lying. And any other nigga that's acting like he's upset also knows she lying. He's just maintaining this anger for the crowd to convince other people around him that he's mad, to basically make it look convincing, make it look believable. Because don't nobody want to come forth to say, man, we were just fucking with that dude. We heard he was a prophet. He owned a, you know, he got a lot of goals in the future. I once made a statement and I said, if I ever came across $6 billion, I'll give my family $2.5 billion. I feel like that was a big mistake, because after I said that, all of a sudden family members of mine like start looking different, looking like they've been cloned. And then I said, maybe it was the video that I released about me talking about a bunch of crazy stuff that I went through as a kid and cussing family members out. I said I wouldn't be surprised if certain people don't be here and all of that. So I came forth and I apologized in August 2024. I apologized in January 2024. I apologized in June 2024, not on like online, but mainly specifically around certain people, personally, verbally. You know what I'm saying? Face to face type shit with family members of mine about that video that I had released. So I said that a lot of stuff that I said in that video I didn't mean. And that's what made me say, no, I don't think it was that video, because I cleared up everything after that, after I released that video. And then again in August 2024, when I came for to say, hey, my apologies. So at this point, people was playing me for a fool, and it's a lot of people that's in on it, yo. And then they'll reach out to somebody else in another state and say, hey, that fuck nigga bad talked his family, or he turned his back on his family. Yeah, hack that nigga phone. I walked in this place called Haven because I told them that I woke up out of my sleep on the 29th of June. You know what I'm saying? And I had a little bit of sperm. I had sperm in my boxer shorts. And I told them, like, yo, something not right about this. I'm talking to one lady at Haven, and then I started talking to another lady, and I said I had blood in my stool the next day. I told the first lady, I'm like, yo, that ain't normal. I had blood in my stool. The next lady I was talking to, I was like, yo, I really didn't think much of it. But I said, let me go to Haven to begin with. I could tell that the lady was just staring at me, just gazing at me, looking at me like she was a private investigator. Basically, I personally feel like she was more so trying to observe me like a detective instead of just doing her job and testing my damn blood and my piss. She basically was trying to see if I was lying or not. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who is looking at you and observing you, basically trying to see if you full of shit, they already don't want to help you out. They already got it made up in their mind to basically be moving a fucked up way. It's a lot of people that's moving in certain brotherhoods and sisterhoods that are attacking me. And I think that's why that one dude said, did you go against the oath? Because I think amongst people that are in brotherhoods, they probably feel like I want to get some type of oath. I'm not a part of it, but it's just like a nigga that's not being in the gang at all. And he say, okay, fuck your gang over there. They'll feel like he going to get some type of a rule that only gang members got amongst each other. I'm not in a gang. I'm not in the biker club. I'm not in the brotherhood. I let that be known to everybody. I said this 1,000 times. And when I was at that Kingdom Hall, it was also this light-skinned dude there named Troy. I asked that dude if it was something negative being stated about me. Troy dropped me off at the testimonial shelter a couple times over there on 44th and Western. He dropped me back off at the testimonial shelter a couple times. I told him, if something negative going on around here, let me know, please. If it's something being stated, I feel like it's some foul stuff going on. People stuff be coming up missing. Every single time I come back from the LA library, the whole time I was at the testimonial shelter, every time I left in the morning, I went to the LA library, and then I went over to this place called the Bin, or this place called the Lamp. You know what I'm saying? And took a shower there or washed my clothes there, right around the corner from the LA Mission. And I'll get something to eat from the LA Mission also. That's what I was doing the whole time when I left. The whole time I was in Los Angeles, period. The main place that I was at was the Los Angeles Library, yo. So if everybody has come together and made up a lie about me and then purposely chose to leave me out of the truth, the only way it's been maintained that long is the people on both sides is maintaining the lie. So you got some people, an example that some people could be looking at me and they be like, yo, why is everybody doing that nigga so dirty? Somebody else will come and tell them, that person over there, yeah, they doing that nigga dirty because they heard he try to set somebody up, or they say the reason why his family members got cloned or something like that. And then somebody else that's against me will be telling that story. But then there'll be somebody that's a friend of that person's that's asking why they doing that guy so dirty that don't know me. That person's friend would also be trying to persuade them and convince them that it's some fucked up ass shit that I did. And then I reached out to my cousin, man. My cousin Deshaun in Detroit, dog, or in Novi, I mean in Michigan. I reached out to him and I said, I got sucker punched on the 2nd of September, 2024 by some Jehovah's Witnesses. I got sucker punched. I said, I think somebody put some drugs in my NyQuil, my cold medicine. I had some cold medicine that I had. I got baptized July 28, 2024. I caught a cold right after that. Got some more NyQuil by like late August 2024, early September 2024. I believe both of those NyQuils that I had, both of those bottles of cold medicine that I had, I believe somebody put something in that for me to go into a deep state of unconsciousness. I think the first time they did it was right after I got baptized on the 28th of July, and I think that they drugged my food, drugged my NyQuil. I drank that and probably went to sleep, and I think they did something to me in my sleep and recorded me at that testimonial shelter. The 2nd of September, 2024. I'm talking to these Jehovah's Witnesses on the corner, feel myself getting lightheaded. It's daytime. I still took some cold medicine, but it's daytime, and I passed out. I think somebody put something in that NyQuil. Passed out, I woke up, they told me I had a seizure. The EMS drivers took me to the hospital. They ran a bunch of tests on me. They said, you did not have a seizure, man. Your body was just rejecting whatever you took. I said, all I took was some cold medicine. But I left that cold medicine sitting outside on the picnic table at the testimonial shelter, yo. I went into the bathroom and brushed my teeth and left that cold medicine, that bottle of cold medicine, sitting outside on a picnic table around the smoking area outside. You cannot eat in your rooms at a testimonial shelter. You can have a bottle of water in your room, but you can't eat food there. You can only eat food in the lunchroom or outside around that smoke area at the testimonial shelter, or inside the little dining room, the little dining area table where where people be like charging their phones at and stuff like that. That's next to where the washing and drying machine be at. So anytime people ate food, they ate their food next to that picnic table outside, or they ate food in the lunchroom, or they probably ate food where that bus stop was at, over there on Slauson and Western, right next to that little strip mall plaza. So if some lady said that I called her a bitch or a hoe, the whole time I was in Cali, can't no lady even say I called her a hoe or a bitch. If some lady said that I took something from her, stole something from her, if some lady saying that I called her out her name or cussed her out or physically assaulted her in any kind of way, that means whoever else heard that about me, they know it's a lie. They just wanted to act like they was upset to convince a crowd of people a lie, to make everybody look at me in a fucked up way. Because the first thing people do when they try to make everybody look at you in a fucked up way is they make you look like shit. They got to lie. So they'll say whatever they can say. They'll say that nigga in the gang. They'll say that nigga in the brotherhood. They'll say that nigga in the fraternity. They'll say every damn thing. So I came to the conclusion that, no, man, ain't no way the single sis ever reached out to me. Ain't no way. She seen message. That lady's a celebrity. I left it alone. Ain't no way. And I always left it alone because I said, I don't want to end up in some bullshit or some legal type of bullshit, come off looking like some crazy ass stalker or fatal attraction or something. So I said, man, I'm going to just stay away from all that. But I sent out certain messages and let it be known, like, all right, cool. And again, this is like November 2024. I put up a picture that I took with my brother and my two sisters. My brother did like this stage play or something like that. He did it with my cousin D. All of us took, me, Keisha, and Alicia, and my brother Scooter, took that picture with each other. I put that up on my Facebook when I was at the Los Angeles Library in November 2024. I saw this nigga on the side of me looking at the picture and shaking his head like he recognized my family. So I'm like, man, let me take this shit down. I could tell that nigga was in the gang. I could tell whoever that nigga was. Some people just got that certain demeanor about themselves. They got that vibe. I could just tell you in the gang. I don't know this nigga. I don't know if his intentions is good or bad, but I said, man, let me stay away, dog. I took that shit down. Other people that's off in the stuff, they'll think I'm talking in code. I said a long time ago, if anybody want to talk to me in person. Fuck what you see on social media. The internet is watered the fuck down. The 24th of March, 2025, my phone was getting hacked on YouTube. I mean, my phone was getting hacked on Snapchat. I mean, not Snapchat, Instagram. And I ain't been on Snapchat. I'm going to say this. I have not been on Snapchat since 2024, yo. So if it's somebody on Snapchat constantly talking to somebody else, it's not me. It's somebody hacking into an old account acting like me. That's easy to prove. That's easy to prove. It's a lot of people that's fucking with me, that's in brotherhoods, that's working for the judicial system. And I don't even think racism got anything to do with it. I think it got a little bit to do with it, but I think the majority of it is just certain people that's off into this satanic worship. And they don't like me. So they trying to make me look like that I'm the devil worshiper. And they trying to make my family look like that that's them. And they trying to make it look like that I'm some type of a cancer to my family, or my family some type of a cancer to me or society or something like that. This is how master manipulators move. This is how they work. They convince a whole crowd of people something that's false because it's more powerful when you got a whole crowd of people that's talking shit about somebody or looking down on somebody. So I said a long time ago, if anybody ever think they talk to me in person. Do not go by what you're seeing on a cell phone. Don't go by what anybody else say. Talk to me in person, because there's a lot of people moving in a fucked up way. And if it's somebody trying to say that I spoke on this way back in 2024, my cousin was Shine. I reached out to my auntie Ideal and I told her, I feel like something not right. You know what I'm saying? What you think about this right here? I typed out like a rough draft and just thought about like submitting it. You know what I'm saying? And just showed her like, what you think? Do you think I should speak on this? Because this is what I believe that happened to my cousin at that point in time. In 2025, I was saying I really don't know yet. I'm not certain about everything, but something not right. That's the real reason why I kept my distance from that nigga Cam. So when I ran into this dude named Jazz at the Regal Tower Apartments, and he was like, yeah, man, hey, you want to holler at Cam, man? He on the phone. And I'm like, I looked at that nigga like, man, you all of a sudden just pop up out of nowhere, walking through the Regal Tower Apartments. You stay with Jerry or Mook. I mean, you stay with Mook, which is Joseph and them cousin. That's one of the main people that Cam hung out with. Back when I was 18, 19, I hung out with that nigga too. I never hung out with Jazz like that, you know what I'm saying? But in the summertime of 2018, he was hanging out with Cam a lot. And when I saw him walking through the Regal Tower Apartments, I was like, something ain't right, bro. Like, out of all people, you just so happen to be walking through the parking lot while I'm walking through here. I reached out to everybody in my old neighborhood. I'm like, bro, my family been cloned, yo. Ain't nobody say shit. Ain't nobody help shit. Ain't nobody help out with anything. From 2014 all the way to 2023, in the beginning of 2024, I kept thinking that my cousin was Shine that got shot in like 2012. I thought that him losing his life, I thought that whoever shot that nigga the first time tried to get him hit the second time, because I was hearing rumors about stuff like that. In November 2012, I saw that nigga on West Chicago in like Winthrop or something like that, right a couple of streets over from Greenfield, in a building. It was this building over there, and he was voting. I went over there and I was voting, and I ran into him. He told me that he stayed right down the street or something like that. He had a pops that stayed like right down the street from there. Like a month after that, he got shot. He got shot in either like December 2012 or like January 2013. I know it was cold outside when he got shot. I ran into him in the summertime of 2013, like May or like June of 2013 or something like that. And that's when I started hanging out with that nigga. He had already been shot in the arm after that. He told me the story about how he got shot. He called out this dude to fight. The dude didn't want to fight. And then he got shot. Then he ended up in the hospital and he stopped going around Southwest Detroit like that. So when I found out in August 2014 that he was passed away, that he died, the first thing that came to my mind was the person that shot him the first time, that story that he told me about. And then my mom told me even more of the story. She told me that he had been dead since like May and he was in the morgue for a few months. I'm like, what the fuck? So at that moment, I was like, okay, now I really believe that dude had basically shot him the second time and all that other stuff. But this time he was way, way, way more strategic. That's what I believe. After I went through all that fucked up ass shit in Fort Myers and all that fucked up ass bullshit in St. George, I started to believe way more different stuff that was happening around me, yo. Way more different shit. Because I was like, it's no way I'm going through this bullshit right in everybody's face. And they just say, hey, Bo, I don't know what to tell you, Bo. That's what everybody telling me in St. George. This little ass town, they got a population of like 300 people. Nah, yo, no. But it's going to all make sense in due time. It's going to all fall in place. So everybody running around playing charades and playing guess this picture, guess this picture, guess that picture. I'm not in a brotherhood, Joe. Now, if somebody feel like I'm going through some shit and they feel like they don't really want to speak directly and be outspoken on it, I can understand that because they probably got lawyers or they probably got somebody that could possibly telling them, yeah, you can get into some legal trouble with this. I understand that. So I can understand if some people talk a certain way. But the way I see it, I guess it just depends on the situation, because I feel like, well, shit. I looked up and I realized I see gay men purposely playing with me in LA. The same shit happened in Michigan. The same shit happened in South Carolina. The same thing happened in Florida. I see women running around, prancing around on their tippy toes, making up lies on me. And now I see family members of mine look like they've been cloned. And there's still people running around feel like they can say whatever and do whatever and get away with it. Don't nobody else look different. I don't see other niggas who talking shit about me looking like they've been cloned. I don't see their family members looking like they've been cloned. I don't see gay men walking around looking like they've been cloned. I don't see somebody coming forth saying, "Hey, don't fuck with this nigga. Don't talk that bullshit. Don't throw no dirt on that nigga." I don't see that. So whatever's going on around me, it's a bunch of people saying, listen, we're going to put y'all over there. Y'all go frame him. We're going to put y'all over there. Y'all go lie on him. And then y'all going to come together and make it look like he a hoe ass nigga. This is what's happening. This what been happening, yo. So I never held a back and forth convo with any celebrity, you feel me? Outside of that one boxer dude that one time. And he just said, hey, what's up, man? Let's talk promotion. I'm like, what you talking about? I have no idea what you talking about, bro. Promotion about what? Who fighting? What? But that man probably saw way, way, way more stuff than I saw online. When somebody hack your phone, they said we go into his phone. We go in his shit, and then we go socialize with other people. And then we go put a demo up on his screen, so it just be a recording on his screen. So my phone been kept away from real social media for a long time. I could tell when I look on Facebook. I grabbed my mom's phone the other day. She been cloned. I grabbed her phone the other day and went on Facebook, and her activity looked way more different than my shit. But I see people doing like this, smiling and cheesing and grinning and smiling and shit, talking in code and shit. I see what's going on. They already reached out to people and they told them, listen, this dude is our target right here. Keep trying to manipulate him. People taking pictures with certain colors and shit. They basically saying, nigga, you said some shit you shouldn't have said. You said, you basically exposed somebody, or you made somebody look bad somewhere down the line. They don't like you. So some lady could come forth to make up a bold-faced lie on me. And then some nigga could be like, oh, hell no, I ain't having that shit. That's my girl, or that's my girlfriend, or that's my sister, that's my niece, or something like that. But you can't come and talk to me directly and ask me if it's true. But you go sneak around and then you go try to attack some woman in my family, or you go jump online and use your homeboys as a weapon against me. You go use everybody that you affiliated with as a weapon against me. That means you know I'm being lied on. You just wanted to act like that what was being stated about me was the truth, and you wanted to push and promote it to everybody else and make it look like it was the truth, so you could politically persuade everybody else that's the audience that's watching that don't know what's really going on. They're not aware of what's really going on, but you basically trying to accumulate more followers and more of an audience, more of a malicious audience too, because you want them to do malicious things to me. You want me to walk down the street or drive down the street, and you want people to have malice thoughts on their mind. I mean, you want people to have thoughts of malice on their mind. You want people to look at me and say, I don't like that nigga. This is not a game, yo. At first, I really didn't think it was a big deal. But once I realized it was family members of mine that looked different, I said, this shit is real, dog. And above all, people really think that God don't see this. People really think that God do not see this. Or they think God is just going to overlook this. And if I was somebody who'd been doing whatever I wanted to do my whole life, if I was somebody who'd been doing whatever I wanted to do, you know, attacking whoever I wanted to attack with a nice amount of money, I would probably be confident too in every damn thing that I do. Sorry, God, for cussing. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Please. In Jesus' name. Amen. I don't even like saying damn when I'm using God's name, but if I was somebody who was connected to a lot of people that was like real powerful, I would feel like I can do whatever I want to do also. So when I look at people from a point of view of like just, I don't think it's uppity. I don't think it's really uppity or it's arrogance. I just think it's, some people really think that that's just the way the world should be. Like when you observe people who've been like people of power, of a lot of money, some people really think like that. They really feel like, I'll do what I want to do. But if my family has been reeled out to California and cloned, and there's people attacking them in any kind of way, yo, I'm telling you, yo, everybody, it's more people that's in on it than people that's not in on it. Everybody is in on it. Everybody. And it's other people that's waking up and they realizing that it's a lot of people attacking me and they're not saying shit. They know I'm being attacked by a lot of other people or lied on or scandalized by a lot of people. They're not saying nothing. So imagine me, let's say I got a homeboy or something like that. Let's say I got a friend or something. And then somebody come over and they tell me, hey, that nigga across the street be stealing. And then I look at him and I be like, I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. That nigga he don't really come off as that type of dude that be like stealing and stuff like that. And if he do, he ain't the type of nigga that'll like do some petty ass shit. You know, people be saying that nigga be stealing like clothes and shit like that. He don't come off as that type of dude that be stealing clothes and no shit like that. You feel me? Like people be saying that nigga be stealing shoes. He don't come off as that type of dude. And I'll be saying that, right? Like that nigga don't come off as that. Then somebody that's a friend of mine will come along and be like, man, that nigga do be doing that shit because he stole from me. So this is the type of approach that a lot of people was taking against me. They've said, okay, we gonna say this fucked up shit about AJ. And then what we gonna do is we gonna tell other people that's cool with those people over there to convince their friend, you know, that this nigga AJ is a foul ass nigga. I don't care about money in the future, yo. Somebody need to tell me what's going on with my family, yo. Can't nobody come along and give me some money and be like, all right, you good to go. No, yo. No. I never cared about money like that. I got goals. I got a lot of financial goals, most definitely. But I'm not go revolve my life around money, yo. That ain't never been me. Even when I walk into my car, when I start walking into who I'm meant to be and stuff like that, that's not me. I'm not gonna love money. Put it like that. I'm not gonna love money how I love God. I don't know what kind of lie got told about me back in the day, yo. When I was in the 7th grade, I went to this school called Bernie Middle School. By December of 2003 or January 2004, my mom moved to Waterford, Michigan. That was right next to Pontiac, Michigan. The street we lived on was like at the borderline of where you go into Waterford from Pontiac, Michigan. And we stayed there all the way up until like December 2004, January 2005, and moved back on Schoolcraft in Granville because my mom never got rid of that house. At that time, she didn't get rid of that house on Schoolcraft in Granville, or Granville and Acacia to be exact. By the springtime of 2004, my cousin William and Rashawn came to visit us while we was living in Waterford. And we went back over there on Schoolcraft and Granville, or Granville and Acacia to be exact, because we just went over there to grab some stuff out of that house that was over there on Granville and Acacia. We grabbed some stuff out of that house and then brought it back over in Waterford where we was living at on Oxley Street. This was in the springtime of 2004. April of 2004 or something like that. And then by December 2004 or January 2005, my mom moved back on Granville and Acacia at that house on Schoolcraft in Granville. And then by the summertime of 2006, she moved down 2 blocks on Granville and Eaton and Rosedale Park. And Rosedale Park, Granville and Eaton was close to the Finkel. That was the main street. So we basically said we lived on Finkel and Granville after that. And then that time span of me living, going to Bernie Middle School. I started going to Bernie Middle School in 2003 when we was living on Granville and Acacia. August 2003. By January 2004, we moved to Waterford, Michigan. I was still going to Bernie Middle School. My cousin William and Rashawn came and visited for the spring of 2004, and then they left after about staying with us for like a month. That summertime of 2004, I was hanging out with this dude named Jay. I think his real name was Jay Allen. He stayed further down the street from me. I used to have this electric scooter, and I used to go hang out with that nigga. It was also this dude named Mike that stayed like a little bit further down also. It was also these 2 Hispanic dudes who stayed across the street from Jay. Their father had a basketball court. I used to go hoop over there with them. And there was also this Native American, I think he was Native American or mixed with like Chinese and American or something like that. I think his name was Jordan. I'm not certain though. And there was another one, this dude we called Cash. I forgot his real name though, but we used to call him Cash back in the day. And it was this white dude named Brad that we also used to hoop with. Brad stayed in probably like 2 minutes, like 2-minute drive away from we all stayed at around that area. All those dudes I used to hoop with. My cousin Will and Brandon came and spent some of that summer with us in 2004. I still remember this. And then my mom would basically let them come stay with us. And then Madalena would come and pick them up and then spend some time with them because I still remember they was in like foster care or something like that. And my mom had basically allowed them to stay with her for the summer. But what that lady didn't know was that Marlena was still coming to visit them and stuff like that for that whole summer. She would come and pick them up, and nobody ever said anything about it. Me and my sister was supposed to go to South Carolina that year in 2004. We chose to stay and not go to South Carolina because we was like, we want to stay here and spend the 4th of July. Stay here and like spend the 4th of July in Waterford. I remember this. All of this is in the summertime of '04. And then by my 8th grade year started at Bernie Middle School. This is in like August, September 2004. My sister Alicia was going to Southfield Lathrop High. She was in the 9th grade. I was in the 8th grade because I was still a year behind. And by like October of 2004, it was people at the middle school called Arthur Ashe Academy. They said that they had something called the LEAP program. They put you in your right grade. You get put in your right grade. And by like October, November 2004, I started going to this school called Arthur Ashe Academy, yo. I stayed there all the way up until January 2005. They told me that they didn't think that I was suitable to basically get promoted up a grade, and I left out of anger. I should have stayed, but I left out of anger. And I said, I'm going back to Bernie Middle School. And I graduated from the 8th grade at Bernie Middle School. Because Arthur Ashe Academy name got changed in like January 2005 or like December 2004 or something like that. So SRAC, Southfield Regional Academic Campus, or Arthur Ashe Academy, the people there, the people that was my teachers and shit, they told me, yeah, you ain't fit to be promoted, so we don't think you fit to be promoted. So they said no. And I was mad because I was like, everybody in class, I helped out. I helped everybody out in class. What you talking about? I was one of the main ones that was helping people with their work. Some of the same people that got promoted, I was helping with their work. So I left. I said, fuck this shit, I'm gone. I went back to Bernie Middle School. I was like, I just want to hang out with my friends then. And then by like January 2005, we moved back on Schoolcraft in Granville, or Granville and Acacia to be exact. My mom never sold that house. At that time, at least, she didn't sell that house. Her husband, her ex-husband, this African dude named Esau, he used to be going to that house, spending the night at that house sometime. This was in 2004. While we was all living in Waterford, he used to go to that house and spend the night at that house sometime. Some niggas in that neighborhood told me that he used to be bringing girls in that house. And then when I graduated from Bernie Middle School, from the 8th grade, by like May or June of 2005, I went to Southfield Lathrop High that following fall semester. And I was living on Granville and Acacia. My dad was living on 12 Mile and Telegraph at the West Chanticleer condos. We was using his address to basically go to school at Southfield Lathrop High and then I went to school that whole year in 9th grade. My sister was in the 10th grade. Then by the next year, I went to SRAC, Southfield Regional Academic Campus, because I said I wanted to graduate on time in '08. And they did night classes there. I went there in the 10th grade the whole year. Then by summer school, by summertime of 2007, I went to summer school classes at Southfield Lathrop High, yo. They was doing summer school classes at Southfield Lathrop High School. And then by the fall semester of SRAC of 2007, I was taking night classes. So I'll come to school at 7 a.m. and I'll get off at 5 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'll get off at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I was taking night classes that whole year. And I graduated in 2008 from Southfield Lathrop High School, yo. Any grown-ass man or grown-ass woman that's listening to some childhood lie that got told to them, or listening to some lie that somebody in my family told them, that's not a fucking excuse. I don't accept that. If somebody basically told you some shit that was a lie that traces back to childhood days, and you didn't even have enough common sense to come and talk to me in person. You took a lie, you ran with it, and then you played charades online. That's some childish ass shit. Especially if it's some lady running around throwing some fucked up ass lie on my name. Okay, I see AJ saying all of this shit online. I know his phone been hacked a long time ago, but what I'm gonna do is fuck it. Let me play. Hey, guess this picture, nigga. Look at me taking this picture. Guess this picture I'm taking. Your 60-year-old auntie just said something about you that wasn't true. I'm not gonna ask you. I'm gonna just talk to the people that you went to high school with, talk to people that you grew up around, and I'm gonna run with that. No, you just looking for something to be You just looking for something to be wrong so you could justify moving in a scandalous way. That's for anybody who been moving in a scandalous way. It's that simple. I shouldn't be having to try to prove shit to nobody. I'm about to get off this fucking phone. All this dumbass bullshit. It's 9:27 p.m., dog. January 20th, 2026. Anybody want to talk to me, please talk to me in person, because it's a lot of people lying on me, and there's a lot of people funding people that lie on me. It's a lot of people covering for people that's lying on me, and it's not as low class as you think or as small as you think. It's a lot of people that's moving in a scandalous way that's in high places. So I don't know why, only God knows why.